We have arrived at Parshas Bo. Right at the beginning, in the first sentence, in the first opening words, Bo el Paro, Kani ichbadeti yaslibo v'aslev avodov. Go to Pharaoh, I have hardened, made strong his heart and his advisors' hearts, so that they will defy me. This brings up one of the great questions in Jewish thought about Bechira Chopshit, free choice. If God is going to predestine, preordain what Paro is going to do, Paro has no choice. Let's say he wanted to listen. So how do we resolve the issues of Bechira Chopshit? Very complicated, very deep, still with the best of explanations from the great Meforshim. It still leaves a lot of opening and a lot of study required to understand this concept, how it works, because basically you're trying to understand how God operates. It's not a simple task. Let's start at the beginning. The Chachamim tell us God looked into the Torah and he created the world. That's a midrash. If we stick to the literal translation of the midrash, it obviously means what he said. But everything is already written in the Torah. It's not like Hashem is going to fill in the names and the places later on. Abraham is in the Torah already. Noah is in the Torah already. Everybody's there. Canaan is in the Torah. Shem is in the Torah. Moshe is already in the Torah. So how do we understand that medrash? It's a problem. But most people just try to learn a lesson from it. That God created the world by the principles that it should be guided by. And you could go deeper and deeper into that, which is not the point of this Torah. Noah. The whole generation was corrupt. Hashem comes to Noah. Noah, I'm going to destroy the world. Build a teva. Does Noah have a choice? Doesn't appear so. Abraham. Hashem comes to Abraham. Lech lecha me'artzecha mimoladetecha mibeis avicha elo aretz asher arecha. Get out. Leave your father's house, to the place where you were born, and take everyone and everything to the land that I will show you. Abraham packs his bags. No choice. The avot, the imot, they act with predestined, predetermined results. So where is the Bechira Chopshis? Hashem comes to Moshe, and he says to Moshe, basically, Moshe, you have to go down to Egypt. You are my Mashiach for Yetzias Mitzrayim. You have to take the people out. Hashem, with all due respect, I don't want to. I'm not qualified. Who am I to do it? I don't want to do it. I stutter. Moshe, you got to do it. No way out. Finally, Moshe relents. Where is the free choice that a person has? If God already knows I'm going to do the Avera, then what's the point of trying to be good? If he knows that when I'm 120 I'm going to be a tzaddik, then he's going to push me in that direction. If he knows that I'm going to die as a Rasha, it's going to go in that direction. Or is it? This is the question. Can you know the result and still not interfere with, in these cases, the person's personal feeling? I could do it, I can't do it, I should do it. You're programmed already. It's ordained. Some people were born to be Moshe Rabbeinu, and some people were born, lahavdil, to be Amalek. That's it. Amalek is Amalek. Yamach Shmo. Okay? How do we resolve this? And that's the only thing that I really want to get into today. This is a huge study, very hard to grasp. And over many years of asking questions about it and thinking about it, and when you do that, you go into a realm that's really frustrating because it's beyond your ken. It's beyond what you can understand, what you can know. So we have one teretz, one possible answer from the Rambam. The Rambam in his Ruach HaKodesh, Divine Spirit, tells us that time to God, to Hashem, is a different category than time to people, to the world. Because the past, the present, and the future all exist before God simultaneously. It's all going on at the same time before Him. How that works, how that is, I don't really know. But I take it at the simple Perush Hamilim, that before God there's no past, there's no present, there's no future. It's just, I suppose, just a long line of eternity, and if there are any breaks in it, it's Al Yedei Hashem. He does it. So that's one interpretation that you somehow have to fit in to understanding Bechira Chavshit. The second one, and with this I'm going to end my Dvar Torah this week, is from a Rav that I had many years ago in Far Rockaway, New York. Rav Nata Shiller, who's currently in Yerushalayim. And this question came up in our studies, and it was very hard to understand any answer. So finally, he comes up with a simple answer, but like in design, the more simple the item is, the more fascinating it is, the clearer it is, the more functional it is. So he said, imagine you're watching a movie. He didn't use the expression kosher movie. In those years, everything was pretty much moralistic. Bad guys, good guys, cowboys, Indians. You're watching a movie for the second time. You're sitting in the theater the second hour or second 2 hours, watching it all over again. You know what's going to happen. You see what's going to happen. It happens or doesn't happen with you or without you. You're sitting there comfortable in your chair and you're just observing. He said that may be, Rav Shiller said, that may be one way to look at it. Hashem knows what's going to happen. And this sort of ties in, connects together with Rambam. Hashem knows what you're going to do, but He doesn't influence you, even though He knows what you're going to do, even though it's already pre-recorded in the Torah. This is just another example of that first thing I said on Parashat Breshis, that the Torah begins with a bet. The bet is a fence. We can only go so high, so low, so far back. Beyond that, our brain can't comprehend. The concept that God lives in the past, present, and future, and therefore that doesn't allow for predetermination, taking away your Bechira Chavshit, is difficult to understand, and we have to keep working on it week after week, month after month. This is the point of Limud HaTorah, to try to go deeper and deeper and understand the wisdom, the beauty, the kavod of the Torah. Shabbat Shalom, Shalom al Yisrael, Refuah Shlema for all of us who need it, and Briut.